into Cragtooth Bay as you've very hastily unfurled the sails. You just chopped the moorings off, releasing the boat into the bay, and Nerida has been like wrenching the wheel to the side and casting gusts of wind into the sails to get it moving. But this is a pretty sparse crew for such a large ship. It has 2 main masts, one at the fore and one in the center, and 2 smaller masts towards the aft. The main masts bear square sails, and the aft masts bear small lateen sails. So, you know that the bolt struck the bow of the ship, and you heard like a crash and explosion of wood. And as you're drifting out into Cragtooth Bay, you hear amongst the din, despite like how loud the rain beats down on the deck and the waves lap against the sides of the ship, you hear footsteps coming up from below deck. You figure that it's unlikely that the ship was left unattended while moored.
Oh,
3 people emerge from below deck, swords first. There's what appears to be a male half-elf, a female human, and some ways behind them as they come out is a drow. Something very unusual in the north. A shorter, elf-like creature with jet black skin and white hair. In the lead is the male half-elf, just over 6 foot tall, you would guess, the tallest of the bunch, blonde hair, tanned skin, especially for an elf, looks beaten by the sun of many voyages. Behind him, the female human, slightly shorter, dark brown hair, bulky, especially for a woman. Definitely raw, callous skin all over her. It seems like she may have been aboard for some time. You guys responding?
Okay, now. No need for
I'll raise my arms up.
any of that.
And point towards, oh my gosh, what is it called? Port Greyshallow? And be like, we're sorry, but storm giants are decimating the city and this is the only way we could escape.
Stop,
No.
all of you. This is piracy. You've commandeered this ship illegally.
We just saved your lives is really what we did. So you all calm down.
They're looking at each other. They like the drow turns back to where Nerida is pointing, and you hear the thunder and see little flashes of lightning, and you can faintly see large pyres, big great fires burning the wooden buildings of Port Greyshallow.
Frankly, we should all be more concerned with the state of the hull of the ship than with who's who right now.
Yes.
But Thunder Giant struck the ship, and I don't know if we'll hold water for long.
I heard the damage. The woman turns to him. What do you think, we're out of port now? We're some ways off. Turns back to her. We have no choice for now. They outnumber us.
I've worked on ships my whole life down in the Concord of the Coast. I'll do whatever you need to help get this ship back on track. Stop us from sinking. Then we can talk about who we are and where we came from.
You're from the Concord as well?
Yeah. I grew up down there.
You know they won't take kindly to this. Captain Horthall
I'm alive. That's all
will
I can
surely
ask
take
for
command
for
of his
now.
ship once again eventually. And you'll be brought to justice.
Brought to justice is better than dead.
And I mean, a little bit. We're not, like, gonna take your ship from you. You can have your ship after we recover. We don't want to steal this from you.
We don't even know who you are. Your words are
Exactly.
meaningless right now.
Oh, no problem.
They're still holding swords up to you.
My name is Chance. I'm the leader of the group. My friends here were really injured. You can see one of us is dead, but we're gonna work on that. But for real, we're not gonna hurt you guys. We want this ship to be. But don't worry, we're gonna give you the ship back. We just, any port in a giant storm, and we found a ship instead of a port.
The drow looks back over his shoulder at his two companions. And you hear, "We're taking on water." They look around.
Like I said, we
Nervously.
better solve that first.
He looks to them and says, "Remember, everything will be fine." Okay. They sheathe their swords at their sides.
Yeah, see? Friends.
If you want to stay afloat, you, he points to Chance, Alik, you, Welgwyn, grab buckets. We need to bail.
Is there a safe place that I can leave my sister? She's on death's door, and I just want to make sure that she's safe.
There's a bunk below deck. We can keep her for now.
Thank you. I'll be right back, and I'll take her down there.
She leads you down to a sort of makeshift bed at one of the lower decks.
We need to bail. We need something larger than buckets to float in.
The
No, we're gonna take the water out.
man shoves a bucket in
Oh.
your hand and leads you down below deck.
Bail then. It's not bailing.
Would
Staying
Mage
on
Hand
the ship.
be strong enough to also help out during this? 10 pounds.
Sorry?
Would Mage Hand be useful in this situation? Could I use that to also carry another bucket with me?
Yeah, but these buckets are sizable.
Okay.
They're made for bailing. You could fill it. The bucket itself probably weighs 2 or 3 pounds, so you could fill it very shallowly with water.
Got it. Okay.
I feel like I always
cast
get it wrong.
destroy
but-
water.
Yeah, is control water good in this situation at all to move water?
Let's see.
I'd look it up, but I've got plus like a text.
Yeah.
Doesn't someone have melding?
You can redirect
have
the
mending
flow.
as well.
It doesn't look like you can cause it to flow uphill. Let's see. Oh no, it can flow over obstacles, up walls, or in unlikely directions.
Then I'll start doing that. What spell slot is it? Let me make sure I have one.
4th. Oh yeah, it's
Okay,
pretty
hold on.
cool.
Or were you talking about shape water?
Shape water's a cantrip. We can't do fancy stuff with that. Although we could try, depending on the size of the damage, we could attempt to slow the inrush of water into the boat. Potentially.
Yeah, I can control water, so I'll do that. If
Okay,
it helps
you
get
have the
water
spell
out of the
slots
ship.
for it, for sure.
Yeah, it's my last stuff, 4th level spell slot.
All right. Let's see if you
Ooh,
can
I could do
actually
that
do
too.
it.
You know.
All right. Once again, you have great difficulty reaching out to Umberly. But amongst the waves, you find a tether and manage to evoke her power and cast the spell, Control Water. It is up to a cube up to 100 foot on a side. I'm pretty sure that encompasses the entire ship. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So you head below the main deck. To the lower deck. Actually, sorry, you're on the upper deck. So you head down to the main deck, and at the fore, like all the way at the front, there's an enormous hole in the ship with splintered wood all about the edges. And as the ship like bows and rocks in the water is like washing in when the fore of the ship dips. But so it washes in and like washes across the deck, slipping in between cracks in the wood, but there's so much of it that it like rushes all the way to the stairs that are towards the aft and then down into the lower deck.
That's bad, right?
It's very bad.
I could see why you wanted to abandon the ship, but I think we can fix it.
The elf like runs down to the lower deck. And Nerida's controlling water, so you can do whatever you want. You can just make it like flow out magically. Which I assume is what you'll do. Yeah, like that. Splash, splash. So they all start heading to the lower deck after assessing the damage. The elf like points to his female companion and like she's like, yeah. She goes and grabs like some spare lumber and a hammer and a bunch of nails and is going to go patch the hull. He starts heading below deck when the water from below deck starts like rushing back out. He's like really taken aback. What the heck is going on? It rushes out from the lower deck, like up the wall of the ship and out the hole. Are you putting like moving it out the hole that it came in? You could run it like all the way above deck to the upper deck if you want.
It's cooler.
Yeah, let's do the cool thing.
I don't think it can like fly in the air, but it like rushes up to the upper deck, and splashes out over the sides of the boat. You've more or less cleared the lower deck of any water. If anyone checks down below, everyone's like standing there with buckets and nothing to do now.
If I can, also I have mending. If there's like small cracks, I can start patching up while other people start working on the bigger.
There definitely aren't small cracks.
Well, whatever I can do with mending, if there is anything, I'll try to do it.
I want to assist the human woman putting boards and stuff.
Yeah, I'll put that as well.
She guides you as you come over to assist, hands you a spare hammer, and is like, you do that side. And she has Welgwyn like help just prop up the board. Nerida, are you still all the way above deck, or you're all the way in the upper deck?
Yeah, I'll like get rid of the water and then go back down, and try to help patch up the ship. Unless me letting go of the water is like catastrophic for some reason, then I'll just stand there and hold it.
Well, let's see, how long does this last? Concentration up to 10 minutes, so like you can just keep bailing
Okay,
any
I'll do that.
new water that comes in effectively. The ship is barely moving at all at this point. The sails are just kind of like flapping about. They're not.
Are we
really...
an okay distance from Port Greyshallow? Like,
You're
are we gonna get...
At this point, you're probably like 300 feet off of the end of Crossman. Like you can look back and see the whole city. But you're pretty far away from the Crossman.
Okay.
Urla's on the upper deck. Actually on like the poop deck, which is like above and to the aft. Looking back at Greyshallow. Just kind of like one hand on the rail. What's everybody doing?
Sleeping?
Sleeping?
pretty sure we have some damage to repair.
Yeah.
Let's roll to repair.
Help with
Let's
that.
do like athletics for Chance and Welgwin.
Alright.
I
And
would-
Alik if you want to assist as well.
Alright, so first one is going to be Chance, second one is going to be Welwyn.
I'm -1 on athletics.
You're too tired to be helpful.
Yeah, and you're also with disadvantage
Oh,
because everyone is exhausted.
shit. Well, so, never. So I got a negative 2, or just a 2. And Welwyn gets a 12.
Hey, Welgwin did okay.
Right.
So, Chance and Alik are beleaguered. They can barely stand. It's been a rough entire day.
I'm
And
still a 9, by the way.
oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
with the 3, you're plus
With
6.
the athletic, +6 athletics, yeah.
Pretty good.
Proficient.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Alik is a little helpful, sort of. He can- Chance is like trying to hammer, and he's like, too weak. He can't like hammer the nails in. The nails are large. They're not like, what you'd use to hang a picture frame. These enormous, like halfway to railroad spike nails, like wrought iron nails. The boards as well are thick, maybe like 4 or 5 inches in thickness. Very long. They have to be long enough to like span this gap. So Chance like can't really lift them and hammer at the same time. Alik is like barely helping like prop the boards up into place. The woman is doing most of the hammering herself. Let's see how she does actually. Not great. She's kind of clumsily, just dropping the boards every once in a while, doing her best to hammer them in. You guys figure it'll take a while managing like this.
I am going to cast Enhance Ability on myself at level 3, so on myself and on What's-Her-Face. Actually, I'm going to ask her first to say, I can magically enhance our ability to, like, our strength. Is that all right with you? Consent is important.
It's made creepy when you say it that way.
Yeah, it is. Is she okay with me casting spells on her?
She looks over at the elf, the half elf, looks back at her. He just goes, "Sorry, we're not that used to this from Northerners. You seem not to like magic somewhat."
I'm not from Lotharia. I'm
Oh.
from I don't remember the name of it.
The Northern Mountains.
The mountains up from the north where the dwarf clans are.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've heard of us being from the Concord of the coast and all.
Can't say that I have. I haven't sailed north of Cragtooth before, personally.
I'll take that as a yes.
But, yes, feel free.
All right. So let's try and see if I can, first of all.
Reach out to Helm.
Hey.
Good at reaching out and touching
You
things.
succeed. Very difficult. You're having a lot of trouble reaching
All right,
out.
So
to
her
your
strength
baby.
is enhanced and my strength is enhanced, which means it's normal.
Okay. So I'd say, let's make new rolls. For repairing the ship. And the half elf will join in as well.
You got a 1.
Oh, they're doing so bad. It's not going well. Everyone, like, every couple of seconds, again, the bow of the ship dips down and water just rushes in, and you struggle to hold the new plank in place while nailing it down. It's really not going well, and it's taking a huge amount of time. Nerida's still concentrating, like, has to abandon the wheel frequently to go down and bail more water as it comes in. And after about 10 minutes, she loses concentration of the spell.
Hold on. She's going to give us warning of that, I assume, right? Are we at that point?
Presumably, yeah.
Okay, then I'm going to pray to Helm. I'm gonna ask Helm to help us repair this ship and get us to a safe place. I'm gonna beseech him with my, I don't even know what it's called.
Divine intervention.
Divine intervention.
While Alik does that, I'm gonna take Nerida's place.
At the helm.
No.
No, controlling water.
Bailing. Yeah.
Okay.
Because
So
I can also do that.
Cast control water. Using the power you've instilled within yourself. That you've taken for yourself.
Then I won't do that until I didn't realize we would have been good. I'm assuming this would have been talked about.
I mean, it's slow going on the repairs. Everyone's working as hard as they can, but it's not going well.
Yeah, I can feasibly keep this up for 20 minutes.
I can do it once more if I use my last 5th level spell slot and forgo resurrections until another day.
How long does Gentle Repose keep? Is it
10 days.
10 days.
Oh, okay, cool.
So if we have a half hour, which is lost other 2 slots, how are we looking on repairs?
And actually, you're right. I can do it for 30. I forgot about my 5th level spell slot.
So if we have an additional half hour, how are we looking? Get another try.
Yeah, let's take another try. It's really not going well
Since
so
I'm
far.
not since I'm not doing the water, can I help with the ship? I'm proficient in athletics and I'm a sailor.
Yep, you can help repair.
Thank you.
Let's see. If I were to use telekinesis to try and assist, to like hold things under the wall, and like hammer stuff in a little bit quicker.
That could probably work.
Alright, I gotta use all my sorcery points to get a 5th level spell slot though. So that's 7. Cool. Then yeah, I absolutely want to do that.
Let's see.
Maybe you can use telekinesis to grapple the water and keep it out of the ship.
Lost is doing that. I want to
Are
do more fun
there
stuff.
rules for grappling water?
I mean, I'd have to challenge its strength rating. And its
I don't
body's
think you
pretty
can
strong.
move water with telekinesis.
I didn't think you could. I wasn't being serious.
Let's see.
Yeah, it just says objects with weight, and I bet you the ocean weighs more than 1,000 pounds.
Well, the ocean certainly weighs a lot. Like, probably, I would say with telekinesis, water is too deformed, like non-shapely, to be able to, like, maneuver it.
Yeah.
So if you try, you'll just, like, splash it around. It's solid objects are easier. Think of it like you attach psychic strings to something that you can use to pull it in different directions.
Yeah.
And so if you tried to do that with the liquid, it would just like... But you can certainly use telekinesis to like move all the boards into place and hold them in place and brace them against the incoming water, and that will make this a lot easier.
Yeah, I definitely want to do that.
Okay. You cast the spell. What crew is left is kind of amazed. They're like, this is pretty incredible. You guys are doing crazy things. And you hold the boards in place. This new round of athletics checks looks a lot better. Let's roll for Nerida, too. What's your bonus? Like, 8?
+4.
Okay, so
well, no, because I'm
20,
proficient, so plus
7,
8, I guess.
8, yeah. Okay, yeah, so... Holding, as Lost bails the water with control water, his connection to Miliki allows him to sweep the water out above deck and over the side. You're able to hold the boards in place, nail them all into place, and then take like some caulking material and patch everything up as best you can. Brace it with like some ropes or other thatching. I don't know how they repair ship hulls, something like that.
I think tar, honestly.
Yeah, I would imagine like tar or some caulking material of some kind. And afterwards, as you pull away from Port Greyshallow, the rain subsides. And you're left with the gentle lapping of waves against the hull and the great open sea beyond. The boards of the ship creak occasionally as you cut a path through the water. Let's see which direction the wind is going. Okay. As you head out into Cragtooth Bay, the wind is headed in a 5 straight south direction. So if you look at the map, let's bring up the map here.
I want to go south. We want to go west, right?
Yes, you want to go west.
About 200 miles.
So that's good that the wind is going south, because you never want to go directly against the wind. You want to go like slantwise to the wind.
So you can sail directly against the wind, which requires like tacking repeatedly. God, I forgot what it's called. And the sort of like, I feel like it's like the larger your ship, the heavier the angle you have to take. Because basically what you do is adjust the sails. Narrative would know this. You adjust the sails so that the wind pushes you kind of sideways compared to the wind. So the wind's coming in straight and you adjust the sails like this. And since the wind comes out like this, it pushes your ship in the opposite direction. Right. And you can use it to like steer into the wind. And then you have to tack, which is a difficult maneuver, especially with the larger ships, which means as you're going this direction, you have to like cut sails, like furl your sails and turn straight into the wind so that you can cross it. And there's like a dead zone where if you get caught here and fail to complete the turn, you won't be able to sail upwind anymore. Like, you won't be able to sail at all anymore, because if you unfurl the sails, they'll just blow back. And your ship will be, like, pushed backwards. It can be very dangerous. Fortunately, you're not sailing directly into the wind. So...
Sailing perpendicular to it, which is, like,
as
perfect,
you're sailing perpendicular to it, it's not perfect. You would want to be, like, mostly with it, or even straight parallel to the wind is fine, especially if you have box sails. But... yeah, this is manageable. You have to tack a little bit to keep from hitting the shore and like use your momentum to sort of swing back out against the wind a bit. Because if you just went with it, it would just blow you straight into the rocks on the southern side of Cragtooth Bay.
Which is not ideal.
Which is not ideal.
Even though I like rocks a lot more than I like sea.
We're saying is that stronger people should probably be helping on the sails.
So who is going to be manning the sails? And you do also have some time now if you want to talk to the new people you've met. You don't even know their names.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah, we should get to know our new friends.
Is the human woman still around us right now? Is she the closest one?
So after you complete the work, everyone just kind of slumps their shoulders, like, safe for now, but that was awful, and just, she turns, she's like, hope that'll hold. If it splits again, we have enough materials for one more repair, but that's it.
Well, it's a bit late, but can we charter your ship?
You've stolen our ship.
Right.
You've stolen Horthal's ship.
But not on purpose. So, can we charter it now?
You know what?
Excuse me, was there something accidental about the way you stormed on deck? Cut all the moorings and brought us to sea?
Necessary,
Yeah,
but not accidental.
I'm gonna cover a leak's mouth. Don't listen to our short friend here. By the way, my name's Chance. What's yours?
She looks at you. Just looks you up and down a bit. Call me Jemuheb.
I'm gonna need that one more time.
Jemuheb.
Muhed, got it.
Muheb.
Muheb, B, my mistake.
Jemuheb, we are truly, really sorry about the circumstances of us boarding your ship. We would never do something like this under any other circumstances.
Never.
But
Yes.
you know, if she's not already dead, and
Your
you know,
sister.
obviously, yes, my sister who's downstairs right now. She's very close to death, and you know, we don't want you to feel like, you know, this is intentional or that this is us trying to be violent. We know we're already here and you don't necessarily want us here. All we want to do is maybe offer you some sort of money, some sort of financial
Compensation.
yes, thank you.
It is
some kind of compensation
not my
for-
ship. You'll have to give it to Horthal, should he survive.
You mentioned
Great.
Orthal again.
Would you like me to handle the
could,
negotiations with Horthal?
I could try to help
Necessary.
because I've never met him, but I'm willing to take a description from you and give it a try.
No, that will not be necessary. I'm sure we will see him again if he lives. The curse is strong. It will return the ship to its rightful owner.
The what?
The curse?
The what was that?
The half-elf sort of steps forward a bit at this point. Yes. And the curse of Oosterhead. She looks back at him. She's like, yeah.
Can I use my
Hopefully
insight to see
it's-
if I believe that they think there's a curse or if they're just messing with us?
Sure.
Can you roll for me?
I am rolling. That's what, +8? You got a 16.
+9.
+9. 25. Who are you checking? Both of them? Or,
Yeah, are they full of shit?
The half-elf is sure that there's a curse.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely sure. The woman is, like, doesn't really think there's one, probably. But she does seem to think something bad will happen to whoever commandeers the ship. She does seem pretty certain about that.
Okay, cool.
We picked the one cursed ship in the entire town.
We didn't have a lot of other options. To
No,
be
we didn't, but
honest.
of course we picked it.
Well, are you guys willing to tell us about this curse?
I don't see why not. Hopefully the curse will spare us. And perhaps it will spare you. Who knows?
Maybe we could even help lift it.
Fingers
Oh.
crossed, we'll be okay.
Not sure. I would want it lifted.
So the
See, I've been
curse is-
aboard for about 2 years, and this ship is nearly a second home to me. The ship's first captain, Captain Oosterhead, was a man of great conviction and principle. He vowed that the ship would remain loyal to its rightful owner, that it would always be under the command of a worthy and just captain. One day, while he was out sailing, he met the Great Witch of the Sea and asked if she would grant his request to imbue the ship with a powerful magic, that
I
any
know
who would
what the-
commandeer it would suffer a great curse. You want to ask about the Great Witch of the Sea?
I'm asking you if I know of the Great Witch of the Sea or have heard it as a sailor who's been, around listening to all these stories.
Yeah. Oh, you rolled a 1, but there's no way you don't get advantage on this. You're having trouble remembering. You think there's you vaguely remember a fairy tale about a witch who controls the sea, but you kind of told yourself it was Umberly a long time ago. and so have ignored most of the this kind of talk for years.
Is it a fairy tale that I would have heard anything about?
Go ahead and roll history with disadvantage.
Okay.
Because you're tired.
Yeah.
And you've been thinking about your sister a whole
This is obviously something I
You're
would.
very distracted.
You have super
Yeah.
disadvantage.
Well,
Alec would know virtually nothing
Oh
about
my
this
God.
guaranteed. Hey,
that's plus
What
9,
the
so that's
heck?
still 24.
+9?
Yeah.
Noble background.
The Welgwyn Historical Society.
Yeah, so despite not spending a ton of time on ships, you're well aware of the tale of the Great Witch of the Sea. A sort of phantasmal demigod or perhaps deity who inhabits the ocean, sometimes appearing to sailors, sometimes as a woman, sometimes as like a torrent, sometimes as a dolphin.
Ooh, fun.
She can be appeased or persuaded to grant requests relating to the sea and all naval vehicles, basically. And whenever she's encountered, she's tricky and capricious. So if you request things of her, you may get what you want, also depending on what you offer her, but you may end up on the end of sort of ill omen.
Okay. The Witch of the Sea is a tricky person to bargain with. Does he know for sure that... I'm curious about what happened subsequently that made him confident that she granted his wish as he suspected.
This is an old tale. This ship has seen the waves for a few decades, since the middle century of the 3rd century of Third Light. This witch agreed, according to legend, to imbue the ship with magic in exchange for Ustrahed's soul upon his death. And we believe the ship is now imbued with the spirit of Ustrahed. Should anyone commandeer it, or any unjust or unworthy captain command it, the curse will surely bring about their doom.
Can't be a more just captain than Captain Nerida, surely.
We shall
Best
see.
champion of Helm.
Yeah, I mean, she's pretty righteous, man.
Perhaps the curse will judge her worthy, but seeing as you've commandeered the vessel, I think it unlikely.
Well,
So,
have
hey
we
man, how did I
commandeered
get
it?
your name?
Yes, I am Hermatius.
Matthias, you guys got cool names. I like that. We've been meeting a lot of boring people. Like this one dude we met, his name was Roy. I was disappointed.
We too find your names strange in the north.
Yeah, I mean, I just chose a word. It's
Harbor Queer Toll Mitali, Harbor Queer Toll, Harbor Queer Harbeck Har at your service.
oh yeah, I see it. I hear it now.
Harbe.
The Northerners have had to settle for calling me a leak, and I suppose that will do. Although
We shall call you a leak.
my father would roll in his grave if he were even close to death, hearing that I allowed such a thing, but you know.
We care little for tradition.
We care a great deal for tradition up in the northern dwarven place where I'm from.
Northern dwarf place.
So you guys got any booze on this ship?
No. We were carrying some trade cargo from the coast.
Oh yeah, you guys had the fire stuff. That's right.
Fire stuff, I don't. He looks over at Shemoheb.
This was the ship that dropped off the dragon's breath?
Yeah, isn't a Raleigh here? She can vouch for that.
Urla is on the poop deck. This conversation is happening below deck after having just patched up the bow. Everyone is sort of towards the bow, and there are small crew quarters in a little hallway.
They're having their fun conversation with the crew of the Stormchaser. I had intended to go check on Urla.
Okay. Urla is just kind of like peering back towards Greyshallow, like watching it disappear over the horizon slowly.
So I want to approach her and say, despite our differences of opinion and goals, I'm still sorry for what happened back there.
What do you mean?
Well, destroying the warehouse, although that was originally something that our goal. I was conflicted, but it seemed like the only way to secure our escape.
Yes, of course. It had to be done. I'm less sure about what that one did. She gestures back towards Kimura, who's like working the rigging very stoically.
Yeah, the last encounter she had with Booker that I'm aware of wasn't exactly pleasant. I'm not condoning what she did. I don't think it was necessarily the right choice, but I also don't know. I don't know if we would be if we would have been as eager to join up if Booker were still alive. We have less reason to, even despite everything, I think we have less reason to mistrust you than we did with him.
She props herself up and sort of like slams her hands down on the rail, looks to you and with a smile. Well, his time is up, I suppose. Moving on. With Greyshallow behind us, where do you plan to go?
Although I'm not entirely sure that they're related, I have a feeling they might be. Given the giants and the Amuli, we've been, let's say, pursuing isn't exactly the right descriptor, but so much as we have been being pursued by a large army led by a dark tiefling. And their goal is to strip divine magic from this world. In order to stop them, we have been directed by our deities, our respective deities, to seek out artifacts of great power. And in the situation we find ourselves in, it only makes sense for us to get the one for to go seek out the one for Nerida, directed to her by her deity Umberly.
What is this dark tiefling you're talking about? You think the Muli and giants are related?
They're being led. I mean, I don't know about you, but I don't. The giants alone, let alone giants and Amuli, work.
Of course not.
My experience, they're not usually this outwardly aggressive unless acted upon.
Certainly not organized.
Yeah. So they're what information we have, this black tiefling is beholden to Asmodeus, and I believe this is all a scheme of his to remove all other gods who could stand in his way.
It's an interesting theory.
Yeah, I mean, it's I don't your skepticism is not unexpected. Honestly, I would say that mine I'm in a similar boat, even though I've been living this for months now.
Well, we're all in the same boat now.
Yes, quite literally.
But if he is working under the direction of Asmodeus, as you say, you don't feel the pull of your demonic forebears? You don't feel anything for Asmodeus?
No. Luckily for me, I don't.
What about your friend down there?
Chance? I mean, I think Chance is just... Honestly, Chance is delightfully innocent, in the weirdest of ways. So I don't even know.
Innocent can be easily corrupted. You should be careful.
I agree, but with us, and especially with Welgwyn, I mean, the way that those two are together, I don't. They're not like a couple of any kind, but the way that the way that their friendship has developed, I actually don't think he would do anything, especially knowingly, to hurt her. The rest of us, I think we're just kind of along for the ride. I mean, we've bonded over the months, especially Chance and I being the only two tieflings in the party, and not. I mean, you know, I know I'm preaching to the choir here when I'm talking to you, but you know, tieflings aren't exactly well thought of. I didn't get it as bad as he did. His upbringing has been troubled at best. But since my understanding is since he and Welgwyn have been together, it's been, you know, shenanigan filled, but smooth sailing for the most part.
There do seem to be a couple of cards.
Indeed, they are. The day that they joined our group.
You see her, after she says that, while you're talking, she's flipping a Joker card around her fingers.
Yeah, I can see that. I could see why it seemed like you took a liking to Chance when we were out in the swamps. So
she flips it, and it disappears in her hand.
But yeah, I mean, we're a good group. I mean, you've experienced some of it single-handedly, and although at the end we came on opposite sides, I'm hoping that for the sake of not for the sake of Lothuria, but for the sake of Tuatha, we can maybe work together for at least a while. While our goals are somewhat aligned.
What stake do you have in the connection to the Divines being disrupted? Who's to say Tuatha wouldn't be better if the Yumuli shattered the kingdom of Lothuria?
It's a great question, and one that I have been struggling with, to be quite honest. But I'm not fond of cities. I'm not fond of men. I'm definitely not fond of Lothuria. I still have things that I'm dealing within that, but through traveling with these people, I mean, coming out of my comfort area and traveling with my friends here, people, yeah, I mean, and even calling them my friends is a crazy thing for me, but I lived a relatively solitary lifestyle until joining this group, and I don't necessarily believe in the kingdom of Lothuria and the leadership, but I want to do what's right for the people. And even though we fled, I hate that Port Greyshallow is likely a giant pile of rubble right now. All of the death that happened there, I feel compelled to stop it. And, my lady Miliki seems to agree, at least from what I've been able to ascertain from her divine guidance.
You live an isolated life, and yet feel his compassion. It's strange. You spoke before that you and the other devil had some difficulties in your past. You've seen my scars. Do you care to share?
Most of my scars have only recently been revealed to me. I didn't remember much of my childhood.
Perhaps you are lucky for that.
Yeah. I don't even know what my actual given name is. The name the name I have is one I took on myself, knowing little about its meaning early on. But I have reason to believe that we're living a relatively solitary life ourselves on the edge of the forest. And men in white robes came and took them away, and only because of some quick thinking was I hidden away and saved from whatever horrible fate befell my parents.
It's sad.
Yeah, I grew up pretty much on my own in the forest, being taken care of by nature's bounty, and I'm lucky-ish for it. Chance, on the other hand, Chance's upbringing was much closer to like being a slave. He is amazingly well. I'm not going to say well balanced, but he's amazingly cheerful, considering such a dark potential to the way that he was treated, both or when he was subjugated to performing as a member of a circus. I do not believe he was well treated, and that whole cycle of abuse ended. And Chance would chuckle if he heard me say this, rather explosively, and not well for the people who were treating him that way. And from what I've heard, that is the day that he escaped his bonds, is the day that he met Welwyn.
Well, sure, I'll have a moment to speak with him wherever we're going. It'll be a little bit.
Yeah.
I appreciate the conversation and being kept in the loop, I hope.
Yeah, right now we're all in this together, and hopefully we can stay that way.
It was not so long ago that was not so.
I know, and you know what? I know for a fact that I'm opening up to you to show you a hand of good, a gesture of good faith. Some other members of our group, most notably Alik, will probably take a little while longer to come around, and probably also Kimura.
It's at this point that Kimura walks up. Lost, can you give me a hand with the rigging?
Of course.
I can't quite seem to get it. I've not been aboard a ship much. She just kind of like gives Urla a little passing glance. Urla doesn't look at her at all.
Well, I'm glad we could have this chat, Urla, and let me give you that hand, Kimura.
She just turns back towards the aft of the ship, away. Kimura leads you over and starts working on the rigging with you. What's Cora doing during all of this, if anything?
I don't know. I guess I was watching for giants.
Cora's like running around the upper deck of the ship with her bow out. Like, are there giants? Where are they? I'm gonna shoot them.
Yeah, pretty much. They're following us. I just know it. We haven't escaped them yet. They haven't gotten to us, but they're still out there.
Okay, so
If
let's
things
see.
have sort of. Well, if you're up to something, that's okay.
No, it's okay. Go ahead. What?
I was gonna say, if things have sort of quieted down, and it doesn't seem like there's any like imminent disasters while people are kind of talking and trying to lead the ship, if I could find a moment to be by myself,
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to use my last 5th level spell to kind of try to reach out to the spirits that are haunting the ship or cursing the ship and try to commune with them.
Okay. Let's see. Reach out first to Umberly to see if you can get a connection. What's your bonus on a wisdom?
I have 5 wisdom
5.
and I'm proficient, so
This isn't a save.
okay.
You go to cast. What is it? Commune?
Yeah.
And though you're adrift at sea, you reach for Umberly. You delve into the void, the ether, looking for any semblance of connection. And none comes. It's silent and dark. You scramble in the darkness, but can't find a thread. The sort of ethereal walls that bar you in, you push against them, but they don't give way.
Never mind.
Who's piloting the ship in the meantime? As you presumably hand it off to someone to go cast Commune.
I mean,
Should
I don't
it
know, whoever would
Be
have.
lost?
Amen.
Should it be Chance? Should it be Alec? I think Alec's a safe bet, huh?
I'll
Yeah,
take
Alec.
the case. I'm very good at navigating open waters.
Chance
Grew
is
up.
trying to negotiate if he can play cribbage with these pirates.
All right, Alec's at the helm.
Oh, this is terrible. All right. I'm just keeping it straight, basically, right? Like, what's to do?
Yeah, Nerida's like, just, don't crash into rocks. And you're like, what does that mean?
See rocks. Can't see anything.
The drow
Water.
approaches you. Hey, so, you the captain now?
I'm just the pilot. Does the pilot traditionally captain the ship? I mean, the captain traditionally pilot the ship? Does
I
he
mean,
tell someone
sometimes
where to go?
there's a pilot. Sometimes the captain just does it himself or herself.
Well, Captain Nerida is far too busy to be piloting the ship all the time. She's
So,
righteous and honorable champion. of
Do you
hell.
know what you're doing up here?
No, I do not. But they said keep it in a straight line. I'm pretty sure I can hold a thing in a straight
I can
line.
give you a little bit of help with that if you don't mind.
That would be probably a good idea.
Right. He sort of like explains to you what the wheel is, what it affects, how to turn the ship, how to read the sails and stuff like that. And, the sails unfurled like this. There's like a jib at the bottom, and you can pull it one direction or the other to angle the sails. And there's an explosion from below deck.
What was that for?
Just looks around. What was
that the jib?
I don't think so. Who's below deck? Lost and Welgwyn?
Myself.
Yeah, I think I would be down there with the Zebrix.
You hear it louder. You hear like poof, from towards the aft of the ship on the main deck.
Oh.
Is there any object that is in the ship that shouldn't be?
You want to run back and check?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with them.
Okay. You head back towards the aft of the ship. You pass a few sort of medium-sized cannons on your way back. And towards the back, very close to a bunch of barrels marked powder, there are just large black scorch marks. And you see, like, the inner hull of the ship has been splintered, but it hasn't quite broken. But as the ship rocks, it's, like, creaking and buckling slightly. And there are shards of a tiny, what, like, must have been a tiny barrel. They're little wood and iron shards, like, strewn about the area.
What did this?
Oh,
Do you know what this is?
shit!
Jamuheb runs over. One of the kegs exploded.
Why is the
One
why
of
are
the
they
smaller
exploding?
ones. There's nothing. Did any of you light a fuse?
No.
Who was here?
I mean, we were in the other room. We just heard the noise and we came back.
She looks down at like the charred marks and the bit of hull that's like buckling slightly.
Oh gosh.
No one was here?
Not that we saw. I don't know if somebody was here. They left before we got back here.
I want to see if there's anything that I could tell if it was Erla. Any obvious signs?
Roll investigation to investigate this
That's
area.
never-
I'm
good
very
phrase.
suspicious. Oh wait, disadvantage. Oh, cool. So I'm definitely not gonna get it. Yeah. Oh my.
Oh
What is my perception?
Do you have inspiration for any reason? No.
Not that I remember.
You would have
No.
marked it, presumably.
Yeah.
You can't make heads or tails of this. You're used to magical explosions and the results of magical explosions. Clearly, the scorch marks indicate, like, something burnt. And you, like, it's obvious enough that there was some kind of wooden object that exploded.
Logan,
no. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was an explosion in here.
Thank
Jamuheb
you.
just
You're the world's best detective.
looks over at you. Perhaps the curse is starting to take effect.
Perhaps, but in the meantime, we need to make sure that this wall doesn't.
Am
cave
I
in.
down there as well?
Yes. So you went down
Do
into
I
one of the
think
quarters and
she-
closed the doors. And
I
presumably you
sus-
came back out once the explosion happened.
From the way she said that, do I think that she's trying to set us up? That she might have done it?
Let's roll to see how you feel with disadvantage. But that's already not a good roll. Oh, so sad. Very similar. What's your insight
Plus
bonus?
9.
Plus 9. So 14 total. She didn't do this. For sure.
Okay.
You're fairly confident that she's not, like, hiding the fact that she did this. We only have a bit of wood left.
Is it
This
small
will
enough
take
that I could mend
probably
the damage?
a quarter of it. It actually, I think, is.
Can I cast mending on it?
Let me make sure. Let's see as you reach out to Umberly.
I mean, yeah.
Okay, yeah, you reach out to Umberly. It's definitely more difficult than it has been in the past, as it's been for you lately, since the last day or so in Port Greyshallow. But you reach out to Umberly, you cast the spell Mending. Some of the wood, like, reforges. Splinters weave back together. It looks like it basically completely repaired it.
Yes.
Oh, well. That is fortunate. Hopefully, nothing else happens.
Can I look
But-
around and see if there's any, like, I don't know, footsteps or
Roll
anything
investigation.
that would suggest. Can you open it?
Yes. With disadvantage.
Perhaps you should relinquish the ship to us.
It's an 11 either way.
11?
Yeah.
So you do like a pretty thorough investigation, you think? There are footprints all over the area. The explosion makes things difficult, like in the immediate area around the explosion, to tell what's going on there. But who knows?
So when you say relinquish the ship to you, I mean, you can't go back to Port Greyshallow now. It's full of monsters. I mean, it's basically totally under fire. If you go back
we
there,
could
you'll
go
die.
back. We could try to contact Horthal. I
Right,
think
but if
that's
you
the course I would take.
Closer, then the giants will shoot another lightning bolt at your ship, and then they'll sink it, because that's what happened last time.
Yeah, wouldn't
I mean,
Horthol
I
be
could
more
try to
mad if
use
he didn't have
magic
the
to
ship?
contact Horthal as well, like I offered before. We're really
like I
not here to
said,
try to steal your ship.
I don't know how we could trust you to do that.
Well, can you trust us to know that there are giant monsters there that will kill you if you get close? 'Cause
Oh,
that's
we
the reason
saw
we're
the
on-
state Greyshallow was
So I'm
in.
just saying that, like, I mean, you know, we're not trying to like steal this ship and keep it. We're just saying that, like, if you go back right now, you guys are gonna die. Like, you'll die there. We will all die there.
Yeah, very well. If you're not willing to relinquish control of the ship,
I guess if that's the way you
remain
want
in
to put
command.
it. I'm not willing to relinquish this so that you can go kill yourselves in Port Greyshallow.
I mean, do you want to go back if you had full
Oh,
control
yes.
of the ship?
If I were in command, I would turn us around. And,
What would be your plan once you got to Port Greyshallow?
well, Horthal is a crafty man.
Is he?
He could perhaps get a rowboat and sneak out.
I know.
We could find a way to contact him, perhaps with flags.
Do you think you could get close enough to not get murdered by a giant with a giant lightning bolt?
I think we could stay a sufficient distance away, yes.
Have you seen how big those lightning bolts are? We couldn't even get away from it when we were in a whole dock.
I did not
mean-
see, but
Yeah. Well, let me
If
tell you.
you
I saw the
were-
damage
They're very
that
bad.
it supposedly did to the hull. It was not
If
good.
you were wanting to save your friend, that's the main reason you want to go back, correct? The captain?
He's not my friend, he's my captain.
You want to save him.
Yes.
If
Well,
we could have a rest.
I want
we
to
might
give
be-
him his ship back.
Right. Well, I mean, obviously we need to talk to the others, but if we could have a rest, we might be able to get the ship back and get him.
And of course, you all will be prisoners once we regain control of the ship, until we can make port somewhere else.
You really
I mean,
don't know how
hopefully
to
we could talk
negotiate.
about that.
I mean, you are outlaws. You have commandeered our vessel.
Come on, well, you're a sailor. You should love outlaws, kind of. I mean, in this situation, I get it, but like overall, come on. Here,
And taking you back and rescuing your captain from the city being destroyed wouldn't be enough for you to believe that we were only trying to save our own lives by taking the ship out of the
Well,
port.
you have already committed the crime and commandeered the ship.
Do I know off the top of my
You're a
head?
very stubborn woman.
From
you would like
talking,
League a lot.
from talking about like when we did our vows for the whole Silverblades thing. Do I know if we have the right to commandeer a vehicle in the name of the law?
But
You could certainly try. You could roll history to see if you
Yeah. I
understand
History.
what your authority might be in this situation.
Roll me a history.
all right, let's do it. With disadvantage.
Like, you were told that you would have sway with Townsguard within Lothuria.
21.
How do I keep on rolling doubles?
That's weird. On a d20 as well.
Yeah,
It's very rare. It's 1 in 400. Well, rolling any double is 12 in 400, right? So, or 20 in 400. So 1 in, I don't know, 20 or something. Yeah. But then rolling 2 doubles back to back. No, we won't do the probability. So what is that total?
21.
21. So this is a private merchant ship from the Concord of the Coast. You're not sure if any like merchant's guild it might belong to, or like shipping line it might belong to. That hasn't really been revealed to you. And you know that they are not constrained by most of the laws of Lothuria. When they're within Lothurian waters and docked at Lothurian ports, they are subject to just like very basic safety guidelines, and they can be boarded and searched, but certainly not like commandeered. You think you could just kind of flex on them and see if they put up with it?
Sure. I'm curious, who is it that you're planning to turn us into once, you take us to another port?
Oh, presumably we make it back to Gilmesh, eventually. And you'll be turned into the local authorities there and placed before the tribunal, I assume. We'll see what happens to you.
All right. Well, I mean, to be honest with you, we are members of the Silverblades, and so we were in Lothuria, in Port Greyshallow on official government business, and...
I've heard of this. You have proof, I assume.
I know. Show my wrist.
Yeah.
Not yours.
I'll kind of lift up my gloves a little bit and show off my...
How was it again? She turns to Hermatius, holds your wrist and presses gently below the brand, and it shimmers. Yes, it seems you are. I don't know what you think that will afford you in this case.
Well,
Certainly won't stop the curse.
No, for sure. A curse is a curse, but I'm just saying we're not just some random people off the street here to steal your ship. We are, members of law enforcement, and we're acting in an official capacity.
At this point, the drow comes down as well, who, by the way, you guys don't even know the name of yet.
Nope. You have to do this name.
Is everything all right down here?
Bit of an explosion.
Walks over and crouches down and draws his finger around the blackened bits of hull and wood. Powder keg went off, huh?
Yes, I'm certain of that.
Folds his arms and leans back. Checked all the kegs before we left port. They're all properly waxed and sealed. Only 2 ways this could have gone off. Somebody lit it? I think you know the second one.
Is it the curse?
You guys have broken records about this, I swear.
Jamuheb looks at you, she's like... I don't think it was lit. I don't see any evidence of a fuse or fire of any kind.
But I mean...
The curse, then?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, sir, I want to talk to the drow. I don't think that we actually got your name. What? I don't believe we've been formally introduced. My name is Welgwyn Woodbarrow.
If we have to.
I mean,
Jamielo.
It's wonderful to meet you.
Yeah, whatever. Sooner we get you out of here, the better, frankly.
Yeah, I mean,
that's our plan too.
We're not looking to stay. So
you're putting us all at risk. You realize that, right?
I mean, we were all at risk anyway. So
yeah, again, we really took you out of a bad situation. I know we're also in a bad situation because of that, but you guys got to help us out a little bit.
We still got the rowers, right? He looks over at the other two. Yeah. Why don't you row to shore? We're only 3, but I think we can manage. We can get it back.
Again, we're not trying to steal your ship, dude. I mean, I get it that you're worried about this curse, and you guys are kind of freaking me out a little bit.
And yet...
What is how far out to sea are we? Are we still close to Port Greyshallow, or are we...
You're somewhat close. Let's see how much time has passed. Quite a bit. Where's my clock? It disappeared. So when you commandeered the ship illegally, it was 8 a.m. It is now close to noon. Midday. And you would guess, let's see. You're captaining it, but like clumsily. And it's not going super fast. So you would guess, let's see. Oh God, what is that? Yeah, so in about 5 hours, of which you mostly spent like patching the hull, talking or learning how to deal with the rigging and like steer the rudder, you probably made it about 30 miles offshore. You have a party token somewhere? There it is.
Well, I mean, is our whole party down here?
Other than
Pretty much.
who's at the helm.
Alik is at the helm.
Yeah.
Cora is
Okay.
on deck, like scampering around. I don't know, did Cora come down?
Sure.
Okay.
She's given up. She's too tired.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but I don't have any particular desire to have this ship be our ship we take out. So if they're so dead set on getting their captain back and going back into the probably destroyed Port Greyshallow, perhaps we could take a night's rest, let them steer us slowly back towards there, and use our abilities to try to sneak the ship in somehow. Do you have any ideas?
I don't
And then
trust
we
them.
could- I don't trust
Are-
them either, but...
Are we above deck now, having this conversation?
No,
Oh,
we're
are
all
you?
below deck.
You're like
That
away. You
exploded.
move away from them to have this conversation, presumably.
So
Okay.
then
I mean-
Cora and I would not be there, right?
No, Cora came
So,
down.
Oh, okay. Then I would not be there.
Alik is not there. I don't think Lost is either.
I probably wouldn't be there if I'm helping Kimura with
Yeah.
rigging stuff.
yeah. Well, if you guys want to make sure we have everyone, we could try to go get them too, but it's up to you guys.
Above deck meeting by the steering wheel.
All right, let's go. Let's
Yeah.
go get the others.
You mean
and
by the
we can
helm?
talk this
Come on,
out.
man.
You're right. I didn't even.
All right, you'll all head up to the upper deck.
To the what?
The upper deck
The helm. Thank
to
you.
the helm. They remain below to just kind of investigate what's happening there and like clean up the area. Make sure none of the barrels are like they're just resecuring all the barrels of powder.
I don't get it. I'm nice to them. I say a lot of kind words, and they're still jerks.
Yeah, honestly, I'm not really used to not being able to convince people that they want to have me around. So I'm fine with us leaving if that's what they really want, and if this ship's going to keep trying to blow itself up.
Yeah.
I'm okay with if we can convince them to let us get a good night's rest, head back, try to pick up their captain. But let's find out what they want to do once they find out their captain has been pulverized by a giant.
Yeah, I'm.
That's a good point.
God.
Is this just you guys, or is Urla or Kimura being included in this conversation as well?
I would include them.
Okay.
God forbid this ever happens again, but I kind of am in agreement with Alik. How do we even know that their captain is alive?
I mean, we
Did anyone
don't.
see him during the battle? I don't remember seeing him.
I don't know what he looks like.
We were out of there. He could have been in the actual town. We were at
I'm-
the
He could have been
I'm-
one of the giants for all we know.
Oh God, I'm all for doing the right thing, and if Nerida, you're the only person amongst us who has significant experience on the sea. If you are uneasy about staying with this crew, which
I mean, I could easily get us another ship and crew and charter a voyage out to the Valley of the Nascent Tempest.
Or
It
it just
doesn't
says
have to be this ship.
from where Greyshallow's destroyed.
I was about to
From
ask a similar
somewhere else.
question.
I mean,
Why are we thinking about heading back? These people are insane. Just throw them overboard and take the ship.
that's one way we could go, but
That's
Well, stuff has already started exploding. They
I
might have
Yeah.
it rigged, even if there's no curse.
Yeah, what
they
happened
might
below
have something-
deck?
Some
there was an explosion.
and I'm gonna give her a really sharp, narrow eyes while saying it.
I'm not fully convinced that it was supernatural in nature, but the woman down there didn't start it, as far as I can tell.
They could have this place booby trapped, honestly. I mean, they're
They
so
could have
big
it
on nobody but the
booby-trapped.
original crew piloting it that,
Yeah.
if we throw them over, we might just get ourselves blown up anyway. I
mean-
trust
I
them
don't
so
know
much.
where the rest of the
not
crew
far
members are who
over.
could have done it.
do we
Yeah, also
do we
I
know
feel like if there is a curse and we're on the right side of it at the moment, then throwing everyone overboard certainly isn't going to win any favors.
do we know that they're the only three crew? I mean, they're the only three to have emerged. This is a big ship, and
Yeah,
we
that's
haven't
kind of
been
what I'm
on.
saying.
We haven't been on it for very
Sweep the
long. There
decks.
could be other people here. Yeah.
Yeah.
I also don't, not to be like a big baby or anything, I don't necessarily want to kill a bunch of people just because they don't want to give us their ship.
Okay,
Yeah,
we're
They
not.
won't
that-
die. They could swim back to shore.
We're not
There's
killing.
lifeboats.
If we can.
The
if we can
crags are 10 miles away. They'll swim.
If we can avoid it, we're not going to throw anyone overboard.
Erla, would you have been happy if I just left you in the water in the Serpent Temple?
Maybe.
Would not have been.
Anyways, listen, if there really is a curse, we've solved
Was I-
curses before.
Was
so,
I threatening you with a curse, Chance?
Lightning.
I'm just gonna huff and look away and not respond.
Oh,
Threatened him with
God.
lightning.
That's right.
Anyways, so why
They're
don't
rowboats, right? Give them a boat. Get them out of here. Come on,
we
just, like, shut
we
up.
we definitely outnumber them. We should probably A, see if there is indeed a curse. B, find out if sweep the decks and see if there is another person on board, or people that might be sabotaging the boat for God knows what reason, other than to scare us into relinquishing control of the boat. And if we determine it's them, then yeah, maybe we put them in a rowboat and we cast them off.
I'm just saying, this is kind of a big ship. I'm really
Oh, hey,
not adept at any of this stuff.
I can actually detect good and evil.
I don't.
Still have
That'll
that.
detect like evil creatures.
Oh, is it only creatures?
It's like
I thought it was like
Fae
It's
and
like
concept-
aligned
stuff.
creatures, I believe.
Yeah, like fae and elementals and demons. And
Similarly, if there is a place or object within 30 feet of you that has been magically consecrated or desecrated.
That's true. So you could tell if the ship is, consecrated or
Cursed,
desecrated.
yeah, cursed would be different than consecrated or desecrated necessarily.
Okay.
So it
Well,
might.
that's
not
That's
tell you
true.
anything.
I would imagine consecration is like a holy shrine
Yeah.
or some other holy object, whereas desecration is the opposite.
opposite
like
Okay.
something
Well,
defiled or
Merida would
evil.
probably know that and not really
Yeah,
try to
for sure.
use it then.
Well, at the very least, I mean, I like the thought, Nerida, but at the very least, don't you? I imagine this is something you might be able to, if you can contact Umberly, this might be something you can get some
I
insight
already
on.
tried, unfortunately, and I couldn't reach out. But if we could rest, I could try again. There's just so much going on with this dark tiefling, I just couldn't get a hold of it.
Well,
The only other thing I could still do is I could try to see if there's any traps on the ship. See if it's a setup.
I think a rest is absolutely in order. All of us. I mean,
Yeah.
none of us have slept for a day. But if there's questions who we can and can't trust, we should be weary about about shifts.
Yeah, we should definitely have watches.
Also, not to be too grabby or anything, but if someone could, once it's a possibility, maybe bring my sister back to life, that would be pretty cool.
Oh yeah,
Cool.
Yeah, that
Wanna
might
make
be
sure we
tomorrow.
keep
I can
that
do
on
that.
I know
I
that
can do
you're
it
tired
today.
out now, but okay.
I could do it today as long as I can reach through to
Can I do it today?
Umberly. I could do it today.
I think I actually can too. Yeah, I guess I could. As long as I can cast it at level, like I can use a level 4 spell slot for it. I'm assuming I can burn a higher level spell slot for a lower level spell.
You can always, yes.
Okay, so yeah, I technically could as well.
I could try twice.
Cool.
Alright.
I am uncomfortable having her dead body in that room over there, and I would prefer to have.
Yeah,
her dead
understand.
Well,
body.
it's not technically dead. It's just like barely dead. So,
Alik, I don't think I don't think.
Less of a distinction.
Yeah, I
I
was gonna
think
say,
that is sad.
I don't think this is helping Welgwyn's state in any way. So let's
temporarily dead. Is that better?
let's
The
That's
three
probably not bad.
Knowing
come
that it's
above deck at
temporary
this
is
point.
helpful.
And are going around like fixing the jibbing and sails and
We should tell them our plan. So, did we nail down that we're going to take a rest and then help them go back to find their captain?
Yeah.
And if they
Yeah.
can't find their captain, we need to ask what their plan is,
Mhm.
because we would like to know what their plan is. And then if, either they find their captain or not, if we could charter their ship. And if we can't, then we'll have to go and find another solution. But we're not going to be
Sounds
prisoners.
good.
That's a non-starter. They want us to imprison us.
as
It's a
ever,
non-starter.
I'll defer to you, but just take the ship. What are they going to do with it?
Bad.
Does one of our more charismatic members want to go try to tell them this?
Yeah, I'm a little tired right now, but I'll muster it.
I'm gonna go with him just in case he can't.
Yeah.
muster
That's
it.
always a good idea. Thank you, Welgwyn.
But it's not like we're doing crime. I mean, it'll be fine.
I'm good at saying words right now.
Okay. All right.
All right. My jaw buddies, both of you. Hermie, how you doing, man? Cool. So, we've come to a cool consensus. I think you guys are gonna like this.
What is he talking about?
So, I really need to take a nap, a longer nap than a regular nap, and so does everybody else. So we're gonna do that soon. Don't hurt us, please. Secondly, after we're done with nap time, we feel like leaving you guys back at Port Greyshallow to look for your captain is actually a cool idea, and we're gonna try that. Honestly, it's probably a really bad idea for you guys to do that, just saying right
Okay,
now.
I'm just gonna hop in just to clarify here. Since my friend is very tired, we are going to help you get back to Port Greyshallow, as he mentioned, and we are, happy to obviously return this ship. You don't want us here. The ship does not want us here. We will return the ship to its original captain. That said, when we arrive at Port Greyshallow, there was a pretty significant fight there, and there was a lot of loss of life. So I guess we're curious as to, obviously, we are hoping very much that Captain Harthal is safe and well and has made it to safety. If that's not the case and something has happened to him, what is your plan?
If the captain is dead, we will take the ship back to Gilmish with whatever crew we can muster, and find a new captain for it.
Hey, question though. If you can't find a righteous guy, aren't you still gonna be cursed?
Oh yes, of course. We're very careful in our selection. And it's not me, it will be the Westfellow Trading Company.
Oh man, it sounds like they suck.
All right. Well, basically,
Don't
as
know
my
what
friend
you
said,
mean.
we are in need of rest. We can't really keep going until we have some sleep. So we're gonna sleep, so we can sharpen ourselves up and help you get back to safety. We just wanted to let you know that that's our current plan, and kind of let you know that we'll be relinquishing the ship as soon as we possibly can and reuniting you with your captain if that's possible.
Well, all right. Hopefully everything goes as planned, and we can have Horthal back in command shortly, or we will take command and take the ship back to Gilmish. So are you relinquishing command of it now?
I'm pretty sure that no, because I'm pretty sure that if we relinquish command to you right now, you will capture us.
Yeah, you
and
said
make
you're
us
definitely
your
bad.
prisoners.
Oh yes.
So,
Oh no.
yeah,
Whatever happens, you will be prisoners.
Well, we'll see about that. But right now, big nope. We're gonna go rest. We are gonna keep an eye out. So just FYI on that.
Don't try anything fun here. I'll fucking blow you up.
And then we will head back in the morning, or as soon as we've
Alright.
gotten our rest.
All right. You will have to, have people awake to pilot and man the sails and whatnot.
Yeah, we know.
But we're not moving. We just drop anchor.
Oh,
Whatever.
you wish to
Nonsense.
drop anchor here.
How do you do that?
We don't want to go closer yet.
Merida, do we wish to drop
there's
anchor
a
here?
lever over here. I can release it.
That's cool. I like levers. Snakes don't come out, right?
No snakes.
Okay, good.
We have a problem with levers and snakes.
They just kept coming.
Okay. Well, shall we furl the sails and drop anchor?
Merida, do you think that's a good idea?
Would I know if that's a good idea?
You can do it. The seas have been fairly calm so far. But if bad weather comes, it will take some time to raise anchor and unfurl the sails and become seaworthy again to try to get out of the way of any kind of storm. You could probably
But if
do it
we
in time
don't-
if you see it from far off, but if it's night, it may be hard to see a storm.
But like a storm is the
yeah.
only thing I would be really worried about. Like we're far enough away that the giant
Or
giant is gonna.
other ships might come and
Other
shoot at you.
ships.
You're not sure. There could be pirates. There are all sorts of dangers at sea.
But if we don't put down the anchor, like what would happen? Right, we're just getting further away from.
If you
Port
don't put down the
Greyshallow?
anchor and no one pilots the ship, it will just drift and be blown by the wind. And it could easily be blown into rocks and destroyed. The
Alright,
entirety of
let's-
the south side of Cragtooth Bay is covered. It's named Cragtooth Bay for its craggy, rocky
Yeah.
cliffs that border the entire southern portion of it.
Well, let's put down anchor and have people on watch, and get our rest, and then raise anchor and try to head back in.
So, just as a side thought, which I want to say quietly away from our three friends, do we trust them not to murder us in our sleep? Do we need
No.
to lock them up?
Oh,
somewhere?
no.
Should
Watches
we,
are from
no.
them. The watches are mostly
I'm
from
just
them.
saying, should we secure them somewhere so that they don't have access to us?
Oh, I
I
see.
think we'll need their help to.
Yeah. So
everything
if we need to pull up the
going.
anchor.
They
and
slept
take care of
last
the-
night.
But they might be saboteurs. We need to sweep the decks.
Yeah.
And I think actually locking them up might be a good idea.
Or if we're going along with this, why don't we just relinquish control of the boat to them and have them pilot our asses back?
We could.
Oh, actually,
Do
Do
How
I
long would
understand
it
if
take
there
to-
would be like longer than 8 hours to get back? Because I don't think we've been sailing for longer than 8 hours.
You haven't been sailing for a very long time, and you're not very far away.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
definitely will not take more than 8 hours to get back. With
Even if
like a
just
competent
3 of them?
crew and competent direction, it would take more than 3 people to like effectively man the ship. It's a very
we
large
could-
ship.
We could just head back, but I feel like if there's 100 giants attacking the whole port, and we might want our bag of tricks stocked to try to get in.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. We're also in pretty bad shape.
If none
physically.
of us are helping, like, does Narada have an estimation? If none of us are helping, it's just the 3 of them trying to make their way back to the port. How long would it take them?
You think they may lose control of the ship if it's actually just 3 of them. There's a solid chance that they'll lose control of it at some point if the wind picks up significantly or like the surf becomes too rough.
And how long would it take to drift into the rocks if, like, from where we are?
It depends on a lot of factors. If you just sailed straight into the rocks from where you are, it would probably take 30 minutes to an hour, somewhere in there.
So
and if
blowing
this-
into the rocks would maybe
very
be like a
driftable
couple
distance.
hours.
Like with a fight, it would take a couple hours at least. Yeah, 3 or 4 hours.
So not far enough away that we could just set her adrift for 8 hours.
But the boat could always capsize as well. If it's like lighter than you might think, the sails could give it enough lift that it like comes out of the water too much and becomes very unstable. Or if the like currents of the ocean hit it just right, it can like rock to the point where it begins to topple.
So then maybe we can talk to them about that. They need our help getting back, but we need to be rested before we can help.
You just think that could happen. You're not certain that like they won't be able to man the ship back. They seem to think they could, or at least that they're willing to try if you're not going to cooperate.
So maybe we can ask them, since we are willing to cooperate, if they'll wait for us to be rested before heading back to find their captain. And then we can all work together as a big old team. Otherwise, we're going to have a hard time. I don't think they'll be as cooperative after we lock them up.
Also, I mean, we have to be so negative all the time. We keep on, like, imprisoning people and stuff. I don't remember the last time we did that, actually, now that I say that. But
I don't think we've ever imprisoned anyone except a leak.
You imprisoned a
Unjustly.
leak.
I don't know, man. You were hurting a lot of random people in the street.
That was pretty
murdered.
justified. Listen, as much as I am not one to condone needless violence, the truth is, if we relinquish control of the ship to the crew, and we can get some rest, worst case scenario, we take it back by force if we need to. There are 3 of them, and there is 7 of us. Yeah, 7 of
They
us.
seem
8
pretty
of
honest
us.
about their
8 of us.
intentions.
Excuse me. Yeah, that's right. There's 8 of us. I can't count. I'm too tired.
We can
Quite a
confirm with
cadre.
them that they'd be able to, that they'd be willing to wait for the 8 hours for us to rest before we return, with the understanding that, you know, we'll help them should they get into trouble when they get back closer to the shoreline. Maybe that'll be a good enough reason for them to let us rest before they return.
Or I just thought of one different plan, and it's not good, I'm pretty sure. But again, not 100% on that. Do you guys remember the teapot? We could ask Cyrus how to stop the curse.
Sleep first.
It actually is I think it's been a day.
It has been 24 hours since you used it.
You know what, Chance? That's actually not a terrible idea. Maybe we should do that.
Is actually,
Ask him if there is a curse.
Well, no, because then if he just says yes and then pieces out, then we know that we don't
True.
know how to fix it.
If we ask
Because
him
then
how
if
to
we
stop
ask
the
him
curse.
how do we stop it, then he'll say there's no curse, right?
Really?
Yeah.
Or maybe he'll give
maybe.
us really convoluted instructions for nothing.
Or what if he just says there's no way to stop it because there is no curse? Well,
Right.
I mean, I don't know Cyrus personally that well. We've only seen him a couple times. We just learned how to spell his name.
Let's do it.
Are we brewing tea?
Yeah,
Brewing
it
tea.
doesn't waste that much time.
Alright.
Let's brew the tea.
Are you doing it on the upper deck, or you go down below to have some privacy while everyone else? And who's hanging around? Erla's like, I still don't get this tea set thing.
Oh yeah, there's like a guy, and he answers questions.
Just don't tell her this stuff.
I mean, you told me that the first time, but I didn't see anyone.
Yeah.
It's just we really like tea. It's like a transcendental experience.
Yeah, okay.
Experience.
Guys,
Get the
she
sense
was
that she sees right through you.
yeah, I was about to say, guys, she was there the first time we used
Yeah.
it. So
Look,
there's no purpose in trying to deceive her further.
It's just drugs. Everyone's experience is different. Just don't worry about it.
Anyways.
All right.
Go for it.
So you're doing it below deck, presumably. It's like, I'll
Yeah.
stay up here, help with rigging. Who's gonna pilot?
I can
nap.
just pilot the ship. I don't.
Nerida
really
will
need
pilot.
To. Yeah, I don't really need to do the.
Who's drinking the
Is it-
tea?
I'll drink some tea.
Yeah, I guess I'll drink tea this time as well.
We got
I
one
did it
more
last
cup.
time. Sure, I'll
Cora?
Cora got it.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Alik, while we're doing this, why don't you see after Welgwyn's sister, if you can?
That sounds like a great time to start sleeping after I heal her. Sure.
Okay, you brew the tea, pour it into the cups. The image of a man with a big flowing beard. Ah, my friends. It's good to see you again. I am Cyrus the Wise.
Yeah, man, we remember.
Cyrus, how do we break the curse on this ship?
The way I see it, you have two options. You can give the ship back to its rightful owners, or you can kill the drow. And that'll be all. We'll see you tomorrow for more wisdom.
I don't want to kill the drow.
Well, that was interesting response.
Man,
And that's where we'll
violent than I thought.
that's where we'll take our break. 10-minute break, everybody. We'll come back at 6:14.
Hell yeah.
And we're back. So who was it who was talking to Cyrus, by the way? It was Lost,
Chance.
Welgwyn, or sorry, Chance,
Lost was there as well.
Lost,
So it was
Welgwyn,
Me and Cora.
yep.
and Cora.
Oh, good. All of the murderiest people in our party.
It's true.
And me.
Hey,
Welgwyn is probably the least murdery of all of you.
Murdery.
I know, I'm teasing.
Like lightly murdery.
You all get the sense that there was something a little bit strange in his answer. You've only had him answer questions twice now, prior to this, but they're both very direct. This one, he seemed to, like, give you options, and the way he said it, too, was a little strange. So if you want to insight check him, I will allow it to see if you can
Yeah, why the hell not? Let's do that.
Nah, just let it slide.
try to figure it out.
My inside check. Inside check. Inside check.
I
didn't
don't
have
think
the
you were
key.
speaking to him.
You're not there, but I will insight check
Yeah,
you.
that's right. Never mind.
I'm so tired I super
proficient.
trust Cyrus.
And as you drink the tea, you feel invigorated. You can, within the next 4 hours, gain advantage on any ability check.
Nice,
Maybe
but
So that
use it
just
on that
counters
one.
that just
out
that just
our-
cancels out our exhaustion. So
Feel spiritually invigorated.
damn it.
Good check, bro.
You know what though?
Time to do it.
No, it's still a 12. I'm a +7 on on insight.
All right.
Also, can't someone else like assist? Or
Yeah, someone else can assist, especially if they're proficient.
Definitely not proficient. No.
Yeah, me either.
How about Cora? Are you proficient in insight? Probably not.
Yeah, we're like the most insightful
No.
party.
Cool.
So with the 12, the only thing you realize, I'm trying to word this very carefully. It seems a very peculiar way to stop a curse. Like, obviously, giving the ship back sort of
What-
makes sense. Killing
what-
the drow seems a little strange.
Yeah. So what I will say that I gleaned from it to possibly make this easier on you is that it's not actually a curse so much as it's just the drow is doing this. He's going to make
It's
our lives difficult until we return the ship.
I don't know. He seemed gruff, and gruff people usually are pretty honest. So,
I mean, I think they were pretty honest about not wanting us on their ship anymore, so I don't know. It just seems like this ship sucks. I don't like any of these people. I don't want to be here anymore. I want to get my sister someplace that's not a shitty ship that keeps exploding. I'm ready to turn it around if you guys are.
Exploded once.
That's enough for me, though, you know?
Elik, you enter the small crew chamber
Hi, Welgwyn. Your sister's still dead.
where Zibrix's body,
Oh, okay.
where you left Zibrix's body. We're going moving through time in an interesting way.
Yeah, we are.
When you enter the room, her body is not on the bed. It's on the floor, and her arms are sort of outstretched a bit.
Oh no.
like up.
Is there anything you'd like to do before, like out in front of her, as if she had perhaps rolled out of bed? You know, if you like roll out of bed and just like sling your arms out?
I'm gonna cast Revivify on her.
You cast
That's weird,
Revivify.
whatever, I'm tired. And it fails.
As you reach out to Helm, you're very tired and you're having a lot of trouble focusing. And for some reason, you just can't get yourself into this. You don't know why. Usually protecting is like your thing. But this person's already dead and they weren't in your charge. Maybe this is meant to be, you're not sure. You crush the diamonds. Search for Helm. Sort of just make like a cursory search in the ethereal plane to see if you can find any grasp on a link to Helm. It's not really working. You think you feel something for a second. And you pull at it. It's almost like a strand. Normally the strands go kind of like, it's hard to describe within the ethereal plane, like up and diagonally. They move away from you. They're sort of wispy and they often like intertwine. They're kind of like the feelers of a jellyfish. They just like spread out and you can tug and pull at them. This one comes from below. And you touch it briefly and there's like a flash of pain. You could sort of like pull at it more or just let it go and withdraw, you feel.
I would pull at it more.
You pull at it more. As you grasp it, it sears your hand and flashes of horrific imagery enter your mind. Scenes of people stretched over enormous stone slabs, their guts spilling out from within them. People writhing in pain, their mouths open towards the sky when boiling oil comes in, drowning them from above. The most horrific imagery you've ever seen. In a flash, just quick images, one after the other. And you let go. And withdraw back into the mortal plane. But Revivify fails. Zibrix lies on the deck below the bunk. Strange that she moved.
She's moves in her sleep. It's fine.
Perhaps the ship tossed her off the bed.
There was an explosion. That's probably why. I guess I'll pick her back up and put her on the bed. That's polite.
A dwarf.
You go out and talk to Welgwyn.
Hey, Welgwyn, your sister's still dead.
Oh.
What happened with the tea?
No. Well, I'm afraid we didn't get much out of the tea situation. It seems like the drow is probably the one doing this, but my sister's still dead?
Yeah, the storm giants or something is still interfering with magic, and I'm so tired. I'm just so tired. But I'm sure Narrative will be able to.
Gosh, I hope so. I just don't want her to be gone so soon after I found her again. You know?
Oh, she'll be fine.
Yeah, I mean,
It's just a minor case of death.
he took
She'll
her
be back
into
to
the bed.
back
It's
to
all good.
complete health in no time.
I mean, I could go try tonight if you guys think that would be for the best. We only have 2 more diamonds.
Is Lost able to cast any revive?
No.
Yeah.
I don't believe druids have access to that.
If Welgun and if tomorrow Nerida and I both try like together, will we get like advantage on our wisdom attempt?
No.
Try to preserve, these very.
You
expensive
worship
diamonds.
separate deities entirely.
Well,
You reach out to them in similar ways, but the feeling of them is different for each of you.
Since this is like a special, no. Since this is like a special check,
Hard no.
are we getting disadvantage for being exhausted on this check as well, or is it like its own?
No, this is not an ability check. This
Okay,
is a
so then
flat
it wouldn't
wisdom
really
check.
matter if we did it tonight or
That's correct.
in the morning. Okay, then I'll go try to do it as long as everyone's okay with us using our last Revivify diamond. I mean, I guess I could use the 500 for Revivify, but...
Well, wait, we have 2 because you gave me 1 and then you have 1.
Oh, that's true, that's true. Okay. Then yeah, I'll go try.
Okay.
Can Nerida use inspiration on this if she has inspiration?
If she has inspiration, yes. Any d20.
I do, I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Cool.
All right. You enter the cabin. Zibrick slides down on the bunk. Just as Alik left her.
Do I, I don't know. Well, I guess I don't suspect anything, so I'll go in.
The cabin is innocuous as ever.
Yeah.
Sheets, blankets, stiff mattress. You attempt to cast Revivify, crush the diamonds, and reach out. There is a difficult push against whatever binds you, whatever disrupts your connection to Umberly. You grunt and scream and push through it.
Did it work?
And reach out to Umberly and imbue Zibrix's body with life once more. Is it cold?
Can I also cast Cure Wounds?
Yeah. She's shivering and curls up into a small ball on the
I wanna
bunk.
Run to her side.
I'm so sorry. You're all right now. You'll be all right now.
Try to cast Cure Wounds.
Yeah, I'll try to cast Cure Wounds. It's level 1, regular, stock standard.
You reach out to Umberly. You feel you're so close. There's a tendril of the divine just beyond your grasp.
Great.
You strain and reach, but you can't grasp it. There's no connection. Your spell fizzles.
I can try.
Well, we can also rest, right? And then she could just
Yeah.
recover that way.
Yeah, that's true. She'll be fine.
Welcome.
Zibrix, I'm so sorry. Are you okay?
No, I'm not okay.
We're gonna
Look at
rest.
me.
We're gonna rest. You're gonna be okay. You're gonna be all right.
What happened? I can't remember.
What's the last thing you remember?
We were on the docks.
Yeah, we got attacked by storm giants.
You were carrying me. You were carrying me, right?
I had some help, but yeah. But we're safe-ish now. We're figuring out what to do next, but you're okay now. We're not gonna let them get to you again.
Okay.
Here, we should rest.
Okay. Okay. Let's see. She fades to sleep.
I think I'm gonna fade to sleep too.
Who's sleeping?
Yeah, damn, we didn't talk about our
Yeah.
ships at all.
I'll take the first watch just so that I can keep an eye on Zibrix.
So you won't actually be watching on deck. You'll be in the cabin with Zibrix.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
someone
people
needs
need
to be
on
watching
deck.
over the sleeping people, probably though. You know, just in case someone tries to start some mischief.
Yeah.
And someone
What do you mean?
should
What could go wrong?
probably be
Everything's fine.
watching the dark elf guy at all times.
The
just to-
drone.
Is it drone?
Don't we usually take watch in pairs?
Yeah, so
Yep.
we'll have to have somebody. What are we doing with the ship? Is it? Are we anchoring it? Did we...
Let's anchor it, because then somebody doesn't have to also
Yeah.
be steering the ship.
We're gonna have to. Otherwise, it'll take like
You
3 days.
pull the ship a bit closer to shore, drop anchor, till you feel that it probably contacted the floor. A couple dozen feet below the bottom of the ship.
Now, where do we want to sleep? Below deck, we could keep an eye out for like more explosions and stuff. Above deck, we can make sure they don't try to lift the anchor and commandeer the ship.
I think sleep below deck in the crew quarters or whatever. Have one person watching us there, and maybe one person above deck.
Did you also want to sweep the decks to see if there were any other people or whatever else you're looking for?
You know, let's do that. How long would that take, do you think?
It depends on what you get on your investigate and how thoroughly you want to
Okay.
do it, I would say. Do you want to literally, like, on the lower deck, there's like a relatively large amount of cargo still.
I mean, could I do like find traps? Is that something that would?
You could cast Find
Yeah,
Traps. Maybe.
Yeah, if I try.
Reach out to Umber Lee. Though it's a bit difficult, you push through it with great strength
Okay.
and cast Find Traps. What did we say with that? It's like a 60-foot radius.
I don't know. I feel like it's like we never. really had
You
the
can
same
like
thing.
sweep the ship
Yeah.
and search for traps. You do sense that there is some in the cargo hold.
Okay.
You would say 3
I
traps
assume-
total in the cargo hold.
Yeah. I assume Cora's with me, right? I'll tell her that I sense 3 traps in the cargo hold. And I'll be like, guys, maybe it's not so much a supernatural curse after all.
You find them, they're on particular chests within the cargo hold that appear to be locked. They're unlike the rest of like the crates and barrels, they're very specific chests.
Like, can I sense if I feel like the traps would be like sabotage trap, or if it's just like this is important cargo and
It's just something
those traps?
that could pose you harm if you do the wrong thing.
Okay. Well, I'll tell everyone else that those 3 things are trapped, and they can try to figure out what they feel about it.
Magical trap chests. Those are. How often do we see those? How many
Like,
poison
as a
bullets have they
sailor,
been?
could I tell if these are like smuggler chests or like, you know, kind of illicit cargo?
Let's see what you feel about them. With your investigation, you rolled a 19, so you know a lot of things. They don't seem to be illicit cargo.
Okay.
They're not particularly hidden, but they also don't like have any place of prominence within the cargo hold. They were kept out of easy access from the crew. You have to like dig through a few crates to get them, to like find them. But they were just in with all the rest of the cargo normally. They weren't like in any special stowboard or anything. So they're very unlikely to be contraband, in your opinion.
Okay.
right. We doing? Are we doing a sweep?
Yeah, I guess for
Yeah, I probably
safety.
should.
All right. Who's doing it?
Chance is gonna be doing it because.
How thorough? Easy, medium, hard. You're gonna like.
Oh, he's doing easy.
Okay. So you feel like with an easy sort of quick sweep, you'll be able to find anyone who isn't like carefully hidden. You're probably unlikely to find any small objects that you expect to not be there, like strange traps or magical devices or anything like that. You may have trouble finding those.
I feel like Chance is tired at this point. He's just like, no, it's nobody in there. Close. Nobody in there.
Okay.
Close.
All right, roll investigation with disadvantage,
Oh, that's right.
unless you want to use your T bonus.
Yes, I'm gonna do it just because that's a good roll.
Okay. You go through all the cabins. You go through the lower deck, which mostly contains cargo. And you sort of like quickly check under mattresses and like peer under bunks and stuff like that too. Move some things aside to make sure nobody's there. It's possible that someone managed to sneak around you, but that was a pretty thorough check for any like obvious stowaways, and it turned up nothing.
I didn't find anything, guys. I mean, I didn't do a great job looking, but I mean, I did a chance job at looking.
You also didn't check the cabin's quarters, which are on the upper deck, because they are locked.
But there was that one door that was locked. I did not check because it was locked. I just kind of gave up. You know, path least resistance.
Oh, Wellgun and I are all over that.
All right, who's unlocking it?
We will unlock it as a team. Can we do that?
I
Yeah.
will give her advantage on it.
Okay.
Cool.
I'll
Roll
roll.
for me. So I just get a regular roll then, right?
Yep.
So it's sleight of hand.
Unless you want to use your T bonus.
So that's plus 7 plus 4 for my gloves, so that's 26.
26.
Yeah.
With Cora's assistance too, in notes, even despite your fatigue, within 2 or 3 seconds, the lock pops open. You feel like it was especially resistant to you. Like, more so than a normal lock of this material should be. You've encountered that kind of resistance before.
And like my trap sweep would have said if this door was trapped, right?
That's correct. There don't appear to be any traps in the cabin's quarters of any.
When have I encountered this kind of resistance?
There were, I believe, when you were attempting to enter, oh my gosh, I'm forgetting his name, Frederick's house in Moontip. You encountered a similar kind of resistance. And I think when you tried to enter the Townsguard's house in Greyshallow.
Okay.
Syndicate magic?
Okay. That was a tricky one, but we got it.
You guys are good. I'm glad you did that because I wasn't gonna do that.
The door is unlocked. You could open it.
Let's open it carefully.
All right. Inside, there is a pretty nice bunk, significantly larger than the ones stored below, with finer sheets. And, the other pillows below are like perhaps stuffed with straw or even like sand or something just soft enough, but also kind of hard or rough. This one's pretty nice. If you turn left just after entering the doorway, hung right next to the door, on the second hook of 2 is a very wide-brimmed hat that comes to a point at the front with a single large colorful feather coming out of one side. There is a desk to one side with several drawers, nothing atop it currently, and there is a table sort of in the center of the room and a couple of wooden chairs.
Okay.
Other than that, it's somewhat barren here. There is like a sconce with a lantern that is unlit. It seems to be some sort of oil lantern. There are a few candles by a small bedside table. And
Is there like a drawer in the bedside table?
yes, there's
Can
a
I
drawer
look
as
through
well. Sure. Slides right open. There's flint and steel in there for lighting things around the room. That's kind of it.
I'm sorry, did you say there was a desk?
There is a desk.
Can I look through the desk?
Yeah, there are 4 drawers, 2 on either side. There's nothing atop the desk. And there is like a... Well, there's like a small shelving unit that tops the desk towards the back, and there are several pieces of parchment protruding.
Okay, can I take a look at what's written on them?
Sure, you pull them out. They seem to be navigational charts. Some of Cragtooth Bay up close, some of the area around Gilmish up close, others of the entire coastline. They point out like reefs and possible islands. There's one that very loosely outlines these islands well off the coast of the Lucidian Sea. It just sort of like notes their rough locations. They don't seem to have like a well-defined edge, but you can see a number of them down within the Lucidian Sea. But other than that, they're all maps and navigational charts.
Can I tell roughly how far we would be from the islands, where we are now?
Yeah, if you left Cragtooth Bay, which is about 200 to 300 miles from where you are now, and then headed south another 500 miles, you would be at the first island that you can see, which is far off the subsequent archipelago. If you then continue south another 200 to 300 miles, you come into somewhat of an archipelago. There are many islands sort of strewn about within the sea, according to this chart. You're not familiar with this landmass in any way. This is news to you.
I am going to... Is there any blank parchment around?
Not in the like storage cubbies atop the desk.
I'm just going to take that piece of parchment.
Sure.
And then I guess keep looking through to see if there's anything else
Okay.
of note.
You open the drawers, you find a quill and a well of ink. It's a fairly nice quill. You find several other sort of cartographer's tools, like a compass, like, you know, the two, not a metallic compass, but like the 2-legged compass used for demarking distances. You find a sextant and a couple other like general cartographer's tools, like straight edges and bits of string and stuff like that.
Okay.
Nothing terribly
Nothing
interesting,
that seems
though.
valuable or interesting or exciting.
Nope.
Okay, well, then I'll just keep this cool Secret Islands map that I found, and I guess. Yeah. Alright, guys, well, I found this weird map. Do you guys recognize these islands? Have any of you guys ever heard of these islands?
Yeah, I don't look at maps.
Who was piloting the ship in this time, by the way?
No one. The anchor's down.
Oh, right, the anchor is down. Okay.
You should definitely have Nerida take a look at that.
Yeah, I think I'm going to. I'll keep these for now. Do we want to keep looking, or do we want to just head back and get some rest?
Leak is already asleep.
Did we say who gets the captain room? 'Cause it looked pretty nice.
It's also locked. Or excuse me, it was supposed to be locked. I don't know if it's a good idea at the current juncture with our three not with us companions if we start moving in like we own the place.
Yeah, I think we should
You're
maybe do
used to
that.
sleeping on like ground and bad places, man. man. You know how much my back hurts? I want the nice bed.
Well, if we decide to oust them, then you can have the nice bed.
I'm totally taking the nice bed. Dude, God, those bunks at the guardhouse suck too. Everything's full of straw. Straw's not comfortable.
We'll
Straw
find you a
is
nice place
perfectly comfortable.
next time we're in a town. We'll rent a place at a fancy hotel, okay?
Okay.
I wouldn't say no to that hat. It's quite fantastic.
Okay.
I mean, I'm gonna turn my back on this, and if you come away from this with this hat, that's your decision.
A piece of parchment missing is fine and probably won't be noticed by very many people, but if you go around wearing somebody else's hat, we could lead on a little too much, Cora.
Yes, I know, but if Welgun gets to take something, I want to take something.
Okay, we'll take that pen. Wasn't there a nice quill on the desk? Take that.
Was.
There was.
How did you know that? All right, I will take the pen and perhaps find a good use for it.
You should have taken my hat, man.
And we'll, I guess, lock up on our way back out, just so we don't get caught.
But, like pretend lock. We'll put little tape over the actual mechanism and.
As you're
lock
coming
the door.
out, Urla's there, and as you're like a little surprised, as you're closing the door, she catches it. She's like, "Oh, I think I'll rest here."
Hey, no!
And she opens the door and walks in and shuts the door behind her, and you hear.
Urla,
Guys! Damn it!
A chance, maybe if you ask nice, she'll let you bunk with her.
I don't want to be next to her. She's. I hate everything.
You didn't seem to mind her flirting with you when before we found out she was not on the up and up.
Man, it was different in the temple. It was embarrassing. I don't think of people like that, man. She took my bed.
That's okay. We'll get you a comfy bed as soon as we can. It's all right. All right?
I'm so mad right now.
I know. You'll feel better after you sleep a little bit.
Oh, she's so lucky she caught me right now. I would burn this whole fucking ship down.
Okay, well, we'll save that for tomorrow in case we need to do it then, okay?
Yeah, and try not to do that while we're on board, okay?
I'm gonna kill everybody on this ship.
Don't do that.
Oh,
Please
that
don't
one
do
out
that.
loud? I'm sorry. I need to fall asleep.
Yeah, let's go to sleep. I'm gonna stay awake, but you can go to sleep.
Okay, I'm just gonna trot off on my own.
All right, who's on first watch?
I will guard the people who are asleep.
Okay, you're not staying with Zibrix?
Is she not in the same area as them?
That's
She is,
true. Yeah.
And I guess I will also.
Oh, I was gonna say, Cora reminds her most of the trees. And
That's
she
true.
doesn't like the sea very much.
There's like a rope you can use to scale and get up there, but you just like climb up the pole itself.
I don't quite get it. I'm just like, yeah, I can climb up this wooden
Yeah, I can climb
pole. I
this.
don't know
It's
how
pretty
everyone
smooth,
else
but-
does this. Yeah, why did they make it so smooth? This is. But so she'll take the first watch up in the crow's nest and just kind of
Okay.
watching everything. And stealth roll for me while I'm up there.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
Wait, first watch is Welgwyn and Lost. Next watch is Cora and
Sure, I'll take that.
Cora and who?
Cora and...
Well, so Alik has said he fell
Alik?
soundly asleep, so
Yeah,
he should
so-
take last watch.
Okay, Cora and
sorry, I'll
Nerida?
do it. My thing was muted.
Cora and Nerida makes sense to me. Then
Chance.
Alik
Chance and Alik.
Chance,
Chance,
Alik.
Tiefling
And
watch.
Zibrix. Put her to work.
No, she's
Zibrix is
dead.
on.
pretty
Zibrix
much.
is feeling real bad.
600
Can I
gold.
like
Sleep
at
as
some
long as you
point
need.
roll my hit dice?
We're doing a long rest.
We're doing a
won't
long
need to.
rest, though.
Yeah,
Right,
but like if
you
I'm
know, if you
on
need to
watch
heal
and
up,
stuff, like what
yeah.
if some shit happens? I only have 18 hit points. That's not.
But you could take a short rest before you go on this long rest.
Alright.
But
let's do
that'll
that.
screw up the watches a bit. / you'll be asleep.
I wasn't
an
going
extra
around
hour.
for the whole like captains. chest thing because they were like, bring the map to her, so we can do it later. So what was I doing? I've been taking a rest.
Sure, that's fine.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll say you took a short rest.
Can you roll my dice for me?
What am I rolling? It's like 8d8
D8s.
9
Yeah, 7.
D8s.
However many D8s. I don't know how many I have. I'm sorry.
It's one per level, so.
Level 10?
10 D8s.
Jesus.
Let's do
Is
it.
that 10?
You're gonna use.
It looks like 9.
Oh,
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is that 8? That's 8.
That's 8, yeah. And then
44.
Con, right?
No.
44?
It's not plus your con for each dice? I thought it was.
That's how you determine your HP, but that's not what you heal, I don't think. Oh no, it is plus your con.
Yeah.
So plus whatever your con mod is. But it's not. That's not per die. It's no. I'm looking at it right now.
it's
You gain
definitely
hit
not
points
per die.
equal to your rolled value plus your con mod.
For
Yeah.
each hit dice spent, the player rolls the die and adds the character's constitution modifier to it. For each hit dice
All
spent.
right,
is
let's
what-
see. Maybe. I mean, that would just make her full, right? Like no matter
I mean,
what.
I think
practically.
that's the point. You're supposed to like short rest like 2-ish times.
I mean, that would
Each
only
hit
give
die-
me 20 points back. You know?
Okay, sure,
Oh,
yeah. So 64 total,
Okay.
which is like 80% of your HP or something.
That's all of it.
Okay, well, Gwyn and Lost on first watch. Roll me 2d12s each.
Only 2d12s.
1 second.
Oops.
Pass.
Excuse me. Wrong die. Clicked on the wrong one.
Ooh. Okay. Your watch passes without incident,
Nice.
except
Wow.
Chance. You fall asleep, and you're not even sure how much time has passed, but you wake up and you feel violently ill, like you need to puke. You go to stand, and your legs are like rubber underneath you, and you just collapse onto the deck. Well, Gwyn, you being down in the crew quarters sees this. Chance just
Oh, buddy.
pukes all over the floor.
I don't like the ocean.
He's in a daze, and he's not super responsive.
Can I look at him and see if I can figure out what's wrong with them?
Sure, roll medicine.
Roll me medicine. Roll me medicine. Stop puking and roll me medicine. It's a 13.
Oh wait, do we want to do that? No, we did that for disadvantage.
Oh.
Oh yeah, you still have disadvantage.
Ooh,
So,
11.
11. He's in bad shape. You're not sure what's wrong with him, but you would guess he's in need of immediate attention.
Okay. And who was awake with me?
Me. But I'm
Lost.
on the upper deck.
All right.
Or I'm
And
on.
that's where we'll end tonight's session
me
of
puking.
Tales from Sawatha. It's a great send-off for Lost. So you're dead, Lost. I need you to re-roll your character.
Me?
You got a
Oh,
whole.
Oh, sorry, not Lost. Chance.
Chance.
I keep doing this. It's just
Yep.
because you're brothers.
I know.
He's actually. He's gonna make 2 tieflings in a trench coat this time.
It's yeah. I think there is a class that's like 3 kobolds in a trench coat or something.
God,
It's
amazing.
a pretty good class.
The homebrewers always kings.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Thank you to all the viewers who showed up. You guys are amazing. I love you very much. Thank you so much to the players. You guys are the best. I love you. Thank you for showing up each week. Sorry, it was kind of a light week. Hopefully next week I'll have some more cool stuff to do and to show you, but just a little bit light this week. And that's it for tonight. We'll see you for next week for more Tales from Tuatha. Bye.
Bye bye.